Alrighty. Hello everyone. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do start, let's give a brief little review. In the last part, Deku discovered exactly what is going on with his spider sense. The jackal has been blocking it for months, and Deku, he's pissed off about that. Right now, he's doing quite a bit. He got into a fight with Ben and sent the man flying. He broke his right hand, and that is currently healing. Deku, however, with the help of both Susan Storm and Iron Man, he was able to find the Jackal's mobile lab. The Jackal has a device blocking his spider sense, and he knows that now. He didn't know that before, but now that he's figured it out, the Jackal is on his shit list, and the Jackal has a very big part to play in what happened to him. Deku, he right now is currently descending on the man's location, and some other people are here to join him. And with that being said, we do currently cut to Deku, who right now, he does actually sit there on the wall. Him's not going to wait. He got comms communications, and this is going to be a bit more of a team effort. Though, he's pretty sure that one of them shouldn't be here. Okay, though. Right, so... ETAs, 2 minutes, 1 minute out, 3 seconds out. Right now, Bakugo gonna appear. Him gonna express. Him actually gonna land on the wall. And so I'm gonna stand up. It really is strange though now, huh? Hey Bakugo. Still in New York? Yeah. How you been? Not good. You? Not great. So what's going on here? Like I said earlier, Jackal built a device to block my spider sense, la 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 la. We're gonna take him down. So you really think 4 spider people here is overkill? Cindy gonna actually swing in. Her gonna crawl along the building, and actually just won't sit there. Her on the other side, bringing her hand up and giving a thumbs up, looking down. As right now, Deku is gonna talk about it. He's fairly certain, yeah. But then again, working with him on this, it could be fun. Though, what happened to Carnage in that one town? It's a bunch of shield red tape, but I can tell you this much. He's taken down and in custody. And Kirishima, hopefully he stays in his shield prison. Anti-Venom's working, but at the same time, it's also a concern. The stuff it's built from definitely helps to nullify symbiotes, but we don't know how long it'll work on him. Huh. Right. Send me over the data and I might be able to help make a better version of it. You sure? This stuff was invented by I know what I'm doing, trust me. I made my web fluid with chemicals that never mind. Right. Sorry, man. You seem a bit wound up. My daughter has spider powers. Damn. I didn't realize that you had a kid. It's a new development. Zinni actually gonna sound tell Bakugo. Bakugo turning his head. That makes a lot more sense now, actually. What? Nothing, it's just I heard you two couldn't control each other. You know what? I'm just going to stop talking about that. Jessica actually going to land. Her going to express walking down the wall. That'll be much appreciated. So how are they doing this? Right now we do currently cut to the Jackal. About 10 or so seconds ago. Right now he does have his hands, well, on his laptop on his desk. Him typing away. Classical music is playing. And right now the man is going to hum a tune to himself. As he's actually bring up a cup of something evil. We all know it's fucking milk. Anytime someone's evil, they have to be drinking milk. Now, as Jekyll is going to take a sip, he actually does turn his head. As right now Spider-Man, his hands come smashing to the top of the trailer. Him actually going to turn and land. Deku bring his hand out and shooting the Jackal directly in the head. Him going to rush him as Deku's going to bring both of his spikes out, stabbing directly in the Jackal and smashing through the wall. Him going to actually land on the ground as Deku, he immediately goes to stand up. him elongating the spike and bringing his foot out, smashing it directly down into the Jekyl's throat. Forex going to pull the other spike up over Jekyl's head. And right now, everyone, they need to watch that. As Deku does going to express, "Where is it?" "Hi, Spider-Man." "I'm not in the mood, Warren." "Where is the device?" "Nice to know that you know me. You a fan?" "You could say that. I've studied you. Now, where is the device?" "I've already done a lot of things under her control I'm not proud of. And how about I do something I am proud of?" Now, Deku is going to put the spike directly up to his neck, telling him, "Where is the device?" "Killing me won't fix it. Besides, you're too late. Even if you have that stupid sense of yours, it's not going to work." Balko going to walk up, talking about it. "Oh, so he disrupted the spider sense." "Who might you be?" "Trust me, you don't want to know who I am. Besides, I could give Spider-Man here the symbiote and let him test how things go. Then I'm going to actually pop away and expressing, it has been some time since it had some proper fun and a proper meal. It's actually going to lean down towards Jekyll. Venom going to have his tongue flop onto his face. And Jekyll will sit there both grossed out and intrigued. He doesn't know what this thing is. It's clearly sentient. It's clearly some sort of symbiotic creature, and it apparently speaks English. And he doubts that it's from this planet. Fascinating. Also gross. Him are not trying to move his head away, talking about it. He is quite fascinated, however, also quite disturbed. Now, looking back down to Spider-Man, or back up to Spider-Man, and Deku does do one thing. He puts down more pressure before actually going to turn, bringing his foot up as Deku is trying to go on the attack. Deku stabbing down into the man's shoulder and arm. Him going to actually bend down and smash his hand directly across the man's face. As Jackal does get lay there unconscious. And Deku, he has to turn walking back to the truck. I'm going to climb in and look around. As there is Deku, he has to walk over to what is a strange looking thing in the corner. I'm actually going to bend down and look at it. Huh. Weird. You alright? Don't come near. Is everything alright? It's fine, just... This thing is... Ugh. The sound it's making is weird. We don't hear anything. You guys don't hear that? No. I don't. Venom says that there's something going on. I hear it. He says he hears it. So I'm not imagining it. Good. They're going to bring his hands out, grabbing onto it and going to break it in half. As the device, it is going to power down. And Deku, the sound just going to stop. And then things feel a bit strange. And Max is going to look up and look around. Huh. Him being hit by something. As Deku is going to stumble forwards and bring his hand up. Him actually going to turn and leap backwards to the wall. As everyone, they do going to do so as well. And Deku, right now he has to jump out of the Jackal's lab, which does going to explode in the alleyway. Deku, right now hanging from a fire escape. Him talking about it, as his leg is stuck to the side. You know, that actually turned out better than you thought it would. You think? Bucko couldn't actually lower himself down, talking about it. You know, things like that usually don't happen to him. Do they happen to him a lot? Huh. More than I like to admit. Now, listen up, because we got a few things to do. We gotta find the Spider Queen and figure out where she is. I'm pretty sure she's not too happy, but I also have the best idea to draw her out. You do. Yup. Big ol' monster battle. Now, we need to go back to the tower, because I'm fairly certain Reed, he might have already made something. You sure? Yup. Oh boy, I'm gonna love this. Alright, who wants to race? Why are we gonna race? Are you serious, Suzuku? Cindy gonna turn to Deku. Deku turning his head. We need to get there fast. This is the best way I can encourage myself. Besides, I'm really happy to have this back, and I'm not so freaking out now, alright? I needed a second of levity. I needed a pun. Fine, I'll give you that one. But at the same time, Hark's gonna turn and swing away, talking about it. He's being left behind. And Deku does a turn. I'm gonna smile and fall. Throwing out his hand and actually gonna swing. Him right now gonna swing out of the alleyway and around. Him going to try and catch up. Now, we do actually cut back to the tower. About, let's say, 7 minutes later. Where Deku? Right now, him and Cindy to come crashing through a window. Deku talking about it. He got here first. Okay, you two, where's the fire? Oh, hi. You? You two don't know who I am, do you? Sorry, no. Next room. They're that way. Can we get your... No. Okay then. Deku and Cindy gonna actually get up. The two running out. As Rena Reed, he is trying to show off a few more things. Him and Tony have done quite a lot. And so far the cure, they've taken Spider-Man's suggestion, and they're going to use it as an aerosol. However, the Quinjets and a few other things have been modified to be able to disperse the liquid. And there's also one place they need to at least disperse it. And Deku is still going to intervene, talking about it. He has an idea and he knows it's going to sound crazy, but it's the best way to get them to draw her out. What do you mean? Listen, it's going to sound stupid, but it's going to make a lot more sense the more I explain it. We need to actually have a place set for a cure. Announce it and tell people to gather there. You want to make a trap? I do, yes. Now, is everyone on board? We're not just going to tell civilians to gather in a location for a cure. Well, we don't cure them there yet. We try to make a few things clear. Besides, whenever the fighting starts, I'm pretty sure people will either run or fight, so there's that. Also, the Spider Queen is gonna want to come to us. Why? Oh, because it's quite simple. We can cure 1,000 people at once. The moment we do that, she'll come running. I'm sure of it. Maybe 100, but that's the best way I can explain it. Okay, we can set 3 of the devices up, but that's a very bad idea. It's bad, yeah, but the cloud's having to stay down low, correct? Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? I use the specific compound for that. Besides, the machines are set up in 2 different sections, high and low. Anyone high up in the skyscrapers or in the clouds, they'll be affected. And that's a bad thing. We're not doing that. But we have that precaution in case. And hopefully things will be okay. Right. Listen. We can... Mr. Stark. Yeah. You remember that web fluid designs I gave you? I do, and I think I know where you're going with that. I've already been getting things prepared. Safety nets. Okay. Alright, that's fine. But so far, what do we have? We have heroes dispersing them and putting them all around places where they can. We have heroes out trying to solve things. We're all spread too thin right now, kid. Just, if you're going to say something, say it now. Times Square. 5 minutes. That's all we need. Right. Sure, kid. And how are you going to do that? Now, cut to Spider-Man. Right now, riding Iron Man. As Iron Man, he is flying over the city. And Deku hears of a microphone shouting about it. Times Square is where the cure is going to be dispersed. And the people do something to stare on. Some of them going to actually turn and swing that direction. As right now, Deku, he does start to get a few things prepared, and the attention is being put on him. And the queen right now is going to stand. She's angry. She doesn't like that. Deku, he's back in the saddle, back being Spider-Man. Where is Ben? Where is Steve? She sends out both of them. That should work. Right. That's how she'll get him. Though she's definitely going to be here herself. If Spider-Man is going to disperse the cure there, no, this is a trap. He wouldn't cure people there. He wouldn't do that. That right now in her mind. Spider-Man is too sane to do that. There's no way he'd put people in actual danger by curing them to try and bring her out. There's no way. Okay. Well then, she's going to redirect the direction of some of her spiders and see how things go. And see how exactly that does work. Now, we do go to a massive, massive herd of the giant spiders. And I call it herd for a reason. Because right now, some of them, they veer off and go to leave. Now, Deku, he currently is getting a few more things set up. And people, they actually started to ask about the cure, and whether or not Spider-Man may have had something. And Deku, he immediately turned on the device. Him going to turn and grab one of the giant containers. Him actually going to put it inside the machine, as he does going to actually bring his hand up. Him going to shoot out a web and swing away. As Deku is going to get up high and on top of a building, the cure is being dispersed. And people are starting to feel a lot better, a lot different. Some of them feel weaker. Some feel normal again. And some, while they are disappointed to not have those powers, they're relieved because some of those spider traits were beginning to pop up in them. And resisting the change was a lot harder to do. Now, the Queen feels this. She feels many being severed from the web. And there actually currently is Julia. Julia does sit there meditating, as right now she could actually see a clear vision of the web, seeing how things are. And right now her blood is going to run cold. At the future she does see. The one ahead. No. Shit. She can only watch this go down. No. She has to do something, but... No, Okay. Let this future become more apparent. Focus on that, and focus. You might cause it by accident. Okay, Izuku. You're looking into the web and looking into the future. That's not a definite future, that's a possible. You don't know if you make that phone call, you make that possibility reality. Okay. Okay. But that's not going to happen, right? Right now, Julia, seeing it. Right now, in her mind's eye quite clearly. Deku, he is laying there, collapsed in a building, and there's a pool of blood around him. He was crushed to death. And in the distance, the Spider Queen, she still is going to rampage. She still is swinging around her own power. A giant monster, dare I say a kaiju, is rampaging across the city, and their attempts to stop it aren't yielding results. Julia does sit there frozen with fear. A lot on her mind. A dead Izuku Midoriya. A dead Ben, and a dead Jessica, a dead Cindy, a dead everyone. That future. No. But that future is the only one where she's left alive. The only one where her turning her head, looking at the baby. The only one where Inko is left alive. But what about if she intervenes? If she abandons the tower and her looking into it, and she sees it. The tower gets attacked. The tower is thrown into pure chaos. The defenses, they fight everything off. They try to do what they can. But the Stark grid, it is bypassed. And the shields, they're overloaded. The generators explode. And the building very well may come down. And that's another possibility. But that's because she tries to set up. No. No, okay. Focus again. Rushing around. No. Doing that will. That's a problem. There's a good future, but. Of course. Of course, that's the future that works. Huh. And here comes the Midoriya luck. Well, maybe she can work with this. That right on her mind. And Juliet is going to get a few things ready. Her right now going to turn and pick up Inko. Her going to leave the room. She definitely needs to find someone to watch this baby. Because what she's about to do might cost her a lot. And with that being said, Juliet does start to do a few things. And make a bit of a plan. And right now, Deku does currently still stand there in Times Square. Him at least alerting a lot of people down below what they need to do. Him right now with his hand on a megaphone. And Deku is yelling about orders. People need to get down to the subways. Get down below and get off of public streets. Things are going to get very dangerous. Right now, the city, they've given them permission to use the trains. And they're going to be taken to the other side of the island. They need to be aware. Go to shelters that the heroes guide them to. And make sure they stay safe. And that's where Deku, his spider sense is going to go off. Him actually has to somewhat turn and look up. Looking around, we're actually going to jump off of the building. And leaping forwards. Him feeling the ground shake. And the glass is going to break. Deku actually going to turn, throw out his hand and shoot a web. Him yanking himself up high in the sky. As the moment Deku does go flying over the top of the building, he does going to turn his head. Him looking down and seeing... Oh shit, there's that bitch. Deku's eyes narrowing. And Deku, he is going to start following. Him going to somewhat speed up and throw out his hands. Him actually going to pull himself up and right now fly into the air again. As Deku, he is going up high and high and high. Him going to start diving again. Before actually going to shoot out a web and swing. Deku going to try and carry and build momentum. And Deku, he does start to move fast. He has done this for a long time. He knows how to move. Him, right now, moving through the air. Him going to actually step off of the wall and swing. Him leaping to build up more speed. He's done a lot. And right now, he is going to kill her. He's going to go in and do what he can. Right now, Deku flying through the air. As the giant spider monster, it does turn. It throwing out its hands. So right now, Deku, he has to throw up his own hands. Whenever it does come to try and smash into Deku, Deku's going to actually bring his hands up. Him attaching onto it for actually leaping up into the air again. Shooting up his hand and blasting her Deku in the eye with a spider web. Him going to actually swing around and try to taunt her. Come on! He's right here, right? Him actually flying to the back of the creature. Him smashing down with his spike. And the creature is the one going to scream out in pain. And call back two of her greatest champions. Now, we do actually have Steve Rogers, who he's been put through the process and given the spider genes. The ones that allow him to be a giant hulking tarantula monster. Anyways, let's currently pick up with him. He is being given orders and being told about exactly what to do. Kill Spider-Man. And that is what he does intend to do. Him right now going to swing up into the air and fly towards Deku. And Deku, the moment he has to see Steve Rogers, he actually has to turn and bring up his hand. Him going to actually throw a grenade at him. And Steve is going to bring up his hands. His spider sense does not go off. And he is going to actually swing the container away. Him shooting it with a web to stop it from expanding or exploding. And Deku does going to watch the container fizz out carefully from webs as it is going to fall down towards the ground. It presumably going to explode down there and away from Steve. Right, okay, so plan A is a bust. Plan B. Right now Deku going to start bringing his hand up and moving it onto his web shooter. Okay, definitely plan B. Oh yeah, this is not going to be fun. We're going to see Roger's going to rush him. And Deku, he actually is going to move backwards on the Queen's massive body. Him going to leap backwards into the air, and right now Captain America is going to rush over towards Deku. Him trying to attack. As Miss Marvel right now does try to go in and attack the monster. Her trying to keep his attention. As Iron Man, he does actually come flying in. Him trying to calculate the odds of their victory. And even about how exactly they would cure this thing. It's massive. It's immune to Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel. I just started doing that now, so that's a new thing. Captain Marvel, right now, is trying to blast away this creature, attack it and hurt it, but nothing is working. And Deku, he is trying to face off against Captain America, and someone is currently blasting in. As Wolverine, he got sent flying through the air and is actually going to smash Rookie into the large tarantula monster. His claws stabbing and cutting into his flesh as it screams in pain. And actually going to turn and stab down one of the massive, claws directly into Wolverine's back. Him actually being picked up and right now smashed onto the ground. As Logan does actually just turn and spin his hand around. Him slashing away at the massive arm. And Deku is going to rush forwards. Him actually going up in the air and smashing Steve Rogers across the face. As he does feel spider sense go off and dodge, duck, throw his hand up and smash him with an uppercut. Deku going to actually throw up his hand and shoot a web directly covering Steve's mouth. Him going to actually pull him back in and smash him down with a hammer or a sledgehammer downwards. Him smashing Steve Rogers across the top of his skull. And Deku, he actually does going to throw himself backwards, evading going through the air and bring his hands out. Whenever the massive monster tried to shoot out its own webs at him through the spider arms or spider limbs, Deku, he rubbed his hands, immediately shooting out two different webs as it was tased. And Deku shot out more webs and flew himself forwards, him kicking directly into the monster's stomach. And Deku is going to send it backwards. As Deku is going to land, bring up his hands. Come on, Cap. Come on. You're better trained than me, better reflexes, right? Come on. You always want to talk about not being able to do certain things, so come on, right here. Come on. Now, Steve does a step forwards, rushing in as right now Logan, he actually doesn't get back up. Talking about how the kid really shouldn't taunt the bad guys. And Deku does go flying up. Him swinging directly by Steve Rogers. Telling him, on your left. And Steve does a turn, looking right to see Deku. Him annoyed. As he has a turn back to him, swinging Logan away. And Logan does get sent flying backwards, smashing directly down onto the ground. Him going to sit back up and grunt, as a web doesn't hit him in the back. And right now he is used as a weapon by Ben, who does actually just try and swing him directly into another superhero. Now, as that is going to happen, we do actually have Deku, who he is actually dodging the way of Steve Rogers. Him moving and talking about it. Bring up his actual talon, his actual spike, I keep calling it a fucking talon, and slashing away at one of the arms. Him talking about it. 2 down, 2 to go. Him throwing himself up and stabbing directly down into Captain America's knee. Him throwing up his hand and smashing him with a vial of the cure that's stuck to his web shooter. And Deku is actually going to throw himself backwards. As Steve Rogers, he's going to throw his hand down, smacking into the vial and ripping it out. Him going to look down. Before he's going to start laughing. And Deku, he does stare at that. Oh. Shit. Now, Deku isn't flying backwards, him smashing into the Spider Queen and hitting into her, as he actually is going to turn, and she does try to throw out one of her massive legs to swat Deku away. And Deku, he is thrown through the air. Him right now being webbed onto as his spider sense is ringing in his ears. It starting to overpower Deku's reactions, or his brain, since he's not used to it now. And Deku, while he is temporarily stunned, he is pulled down to the ground. For Steve does a step forwards, smashing onto Deku's back, and Deku does a scream out in pain, as he does try to spin himself over. Him trying to throw his hand backwards and throw a talon directly into Captain America's leg. As the talon does to pierce him, Captain America does put down more pressure. Him talking about it. He's dealt with insolent little bugs like him before. Steve, you're in there, I know you are. Fight it. Come on. Come on, you can do this all day, right? Shut up. Now, Captain America does start to put less pressure on Deku. And Deku, he does do one thing. He throws his hands down and pushes up. As Captain America's leg does go up into the air, and Deku does feel the bone break in his arm. As the talon, or the spike, does go to retract, it going to start regenerating. As it is going to turn back, him throwing out his hands and smashing Steve Rogers directly in the chest, sending the man flying through the air. And Deku does feel proud of himself. His spider sense going off as right now Deku is going to turn. Him going to duck and be struck in the chest. As the actions were Ben sent him flying. And Deku, he is then flying directly into a building. As the Spider Queen, she's going to turn to it. Her going to look down as right now a few people to come swinging in. As there actually is Cindy. Cindy does come swinging in, trying to deal with the Queen. And she's trying to at least talk about it. However, Deku, he does currently try to express on his comm system. No, the heroes need to focus on the cure. Whatever's going on. People there, they need the cure, now. What's going on? Why is that so important? We have to deal with her. She's too powerful. We can't handle this alone. No, we need to cure everyone. She's drawing her power from them. She's a queen, remember? Practically a god. Deku gonna sit back up, expressing. He's never killed a god before, but she's not a god. She's drawing her power from everyone's life force. Their connections to the web make her stronger. So, what he's gonna do now is simple. I'm gonna turn and get up. I'm gonna swing away. What he's gonna do right now is save everyone and try to activate all of the machines in New York. Him at least trying to tell Tony that. And Tony, he is trying to tell the teams to activate them. But the teams are starting to be overrun. And there are certain areas where things are clear, but they're also not clear. And Deku, he does try to yell to everyone, yelling to Bakugo, Cindy, and Jessica about what to do. And the two, Deku and Cindy, they do to head out. And the queen doesn't see Deku swinging away in a direction. She knows that that place is heavily fortified and attacked. However, she can see through the eyes of one of the spiders. They are doing their best to try and overrun the area. But the Fantastic Four are holding them off. And that is definitely not fun. So, she'll send them after that one. Send Izuku to his death, and allow his brother to be the one to do it. And Ben is starting to go swinging after Deku. As Deku and Ben, the two, they would collide again. Deku right now swinging through the air. Him feeling his spider sense go off, and actually going to swing back around and look towards Ben. Him actually going to fire off with his massive arms, trying to shoot Deku and catch him. However, Deku, he actually is cutting his lines and moving out of the way in the middle of air. Him at least trying to do his best, shooting lines to redirect himself, and trying to dodge as much as he can. However, Deku, he's also willing to just to do whatever he can to get away. Cut off a piece of his costume if he does need to. He doesn't matter. He doesn't care. I mean, take off a piece of the armor. As long as it's not his helmet, he'll be fine. He'll get out of this. He can move. He can do everything. He can, this being where a piece of web gets stuck to Deku's leg. Deku going to turn and try and slash it down with his spike. However, Deku, he actually does have Ben reel him in a bit too fast. Ben actually being able to smash Doki into one of the massive spider tendrils, or spider legs. And Deku's flying from the air. Him going to throw out his hand and swing backwards again. However, Ben is relentless. Him rushing down to the ground and trying to grab Deku. And right now, Deku, he actually has cut across the leg as Ben. He barely got away. And Deku, he currently does get a somewhat turn back. Him rushing fast down the street and swing back into the air. However, Ben is actually going to somewhat throw himself down onto Deku. The two smashing down into the street as Ben, he has to throw back his hand. Him trying to smash it down to Deku's head, however, Deku does going to turn. Him backhanding Ben and smash him across the face. And Deku, he does get lucky. Ben's still going to move down to the left as Deku does a flip back over. Him throwing himself up on top of Ben, smashing his fist over and over again into him. And Ben is going to start to send Deku flying. Deku being sent flying backwards, as right now there is where Deku, he has a smash down to the ground. Him going to actually get back up and look around. Him going to roll out of the way whenever Ben is going to smash Doki down a car. Him going to look towards Deku as Deku is rushing forwards. Him throwing his fist outwards, smashing Ben in the stomach with two different spikes. Him rushing him forwards and throwing us up into the air. The two smashing into a large building. And Deku, right now he does could actually throw Ben backwards, smashing through another pillar, punching over and over. He's angry. He doesn't know what to do. Him punching Ben again. He doesn't care. Him punching Ben again in the ribs, harder, more effort. He has to take them all down. He has to be able to save New York City. Ben's just a victim. Deku's smashing Ben again across the face. Ben is just someone who's involved in her scheme. Deku is smashing Ben again, sending him flying up in the air as Ben, he is sent out of the building. And Deku is panting heavily. Ben is a pawn. But Ben's also dangerous. Okay. Spider-Man. I'm gonna look back up. As the massive man spider does come to crawl back down. And Deku's gonna bring his hands back up. As Ben is going rushing forwards. Him going to actually pounce on Deku as Deku just tries to move. Deku getting out of the way as Ben smashes onto the ground and makes the second story uneven. The ground beginning to collapse as Deku does have his spider sense go off. Him throwing himself backwards as Ben does have one of the massive tendrils shoot out towards Deku. It grabbing onto Deku and beginning to reel him in. Ben being able to actually catch him and pull onto him. Bring him upwards, smashing him down to the collapsing ground. Them falling down to the first story as Ben is going to smash Deku down onto something. And Deku, he is going to scream out in pain. Ben pulling back his fist and smashing him across the face. We're actually going to turn and use Deku to smash through one of the concrete walls. And Deku, he is not having fun. As Ben is going to smash him back through the wall over and over and over. And Deku does throw out his foot, kicking Ben Doki up in the head as Ben does feel his teeth shatter. And Ben right now is going to start puking blood, or coughing up blood from the shattered remains of his teeth. Now, Ben, yeah, he is beginning to feel fatigue, exhaustion. However, Deku does go rushing back forwards, punching Ben as hard as he can again. And this time, Deku, he does send the man flying out of the building. Him smashing through one of the support beams, or support pillars, holding it up. And Deku is going to watch Ben smash into the wall, and then going to actually turn and hit the ground. And Deku, he does just don't stand there. His spider sense is going off again. And there actually is Ben. Ben is going to look towards Deku. Him going to turn and rush forwards after he is going to get back up. And Ben, he has come rushing back into the building as he's going to grab onto Deku. The two smashing into a wall as they collapse through it. And the building is starting to go under pressure. And Deku, he does not like that. Him actually trying to get back up. As whenever he tried to crawl out from underneath Ben, who he thought was just exhausted and finally down, finally taken out, Ben, he tried to get back up. Him actually crushing down on Deku as I could feel the weight on his arms. He could feel the weight on his torso and on his body. And Ben got back up and looked down towards Deku. Him would actually bring his hand out and grab onto him, talking about the oh so great Spider-Man. I'm going to turn and smash him into the wall. You know, once this is all said and done, I could take over your life. Doesn't that sound fun? You know what he did to me. The experiments. All of it. He made me. He made me. Ben, that's you. I know it is. Fight it. He made me. He made me. Ben gonna look up towards Deku. And now Deku's presence is ringing in his ears. Deku bringing his hands out, smashing Ben and pushing him out of the building. And Ben does descend flying backwards out of it. Him smashing onto the ground as Deku, he actually doesn't look around. Him begin to start shooting some webs. This place can't come down. Okay, no. No one's here, the place is clear. Okay, so. No, he has to get out of here and Deku gonna turn. As, right now, Deku, he has to start turning and swinging out of the building. And the building is starting to collapse. Deku, right now, going to get out of it, in a way. As Ben does get to watch Spider-Man swing away. And Ben does get to feel a few things in his mind. He feels a few strange things. However, he does get to pursue Spider-Man. Now, we do currently have Deku. Deku is going to help the Fantastic Four. And every does arrive smashing down the scene, there actually is Ben, who does come smashing down as well. And Deku, he does a turn, talking about it. Come on! As Ben does actually start to attack some of the spiders. And Deku, he does look at him somewhat strangely, realizing that Ben came to his senses, turning back and talking to Reed, telling Reed about exactly what they need to do. And Reed, yeah. Right now he does try to explain about what happened. And Deku does try to help. And the machine is currently fixed. Now, it took a bit of time. However, Reed, using his hands, he was able to do what he could. Small, intricate little pieces, such as a wrench. For a shapeshifter or someone who can morph his body into different things was quite easy. And Reed, he was just happy they finally had the time to fix it. Since trying to help Ben is hard, Johnny, yeah, spiders, they might be afraid of fire, but they're more afraid of the queen, so, lambs to the slaughter, I guess. And Susan can only do so much against psychic spiders, or, not psychic spiders. She can only do so much against giant spiders, with telepathy. And while trying to make barriers is nice, their strength has been amplified by the rapid mutation. So there's that. Now, where the aerosol was starting to get dispersed, everyone they stood there. And Deku was the one alarmed being caught in it. However, Reed, he didn't base it off of Deku's biology. So, he's okay. He based it off of the actual spider virus in curing that. And right now, Ben is going to fall down to the ground. Him coughing heavily as right now the massive creature is going to fall over. And it does going to somewhat just sit there, lifeless. And right now everyone, they're all kind of surprised. As Ben, he is going to emerge from the back of this creature. And Deku actually is going to run over. Him talking about how he's really happy to see Ben. Hey, why's my dick hanging out? Good to see you, Ben. Listen, Deku bringing his hand down and shooting the spider web. Talking about it. Okay, he might be rocking the loincloth right now, but it's a lot to explain. So here's the best way to summarize it. Spider Queen, Massive Spider Invasion, Spider-Man, Man Spider, Spider Senses back. Does that give him the rundown? What? I'll explain later. Right now, help. How? Ben looking around. And the Fantastic Four, they do try to at least tell him about what to do. And Ben, he understands. Now, the Spider Queen is losing strength, and she's becoming more and more vulnerable. And the Spider family, they're doing what they can to help out around the island. The gas is a good dispersal method. And the Queen, she is angry. She is beginning to be more and more mortal. And Julia does see a few more futures. her right now tinkering away in the Stark Tower. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.